Hiya, my name's Savannah Marshall and you're watching Sport and Icons.
Right, so BT Sport have announced that Deontay Wilder vs Tyson Fury Part 2, the rematch, next weekend, so February 22nd in Las Vegas, will in fact be £24.95. Box Office pay-per-view on BT Sport. So it's gone up to £25. Now, a lot of fans are very unhappy about it, and I fully understand why. I'm not against it. I'm certainly not for it either. And my stance has always been, I don't care who you are, if you're fighting in America, due to the time zone between UK and America, it shouldn't be pay-per-view. Now, people in America, you guys don't understand because you never have to wait up or set your alarm to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch a fight and be asked to pay pay-per-view. There's the real difference. For us, we have to if a fight is on your side of the water. And this fight in itself is not as big as the people promoting it, managing it, and of course the fighters would have you believe. It's just not that big. It really isn't. And I say that with a heavy heart because I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan and I'd love nothing more than Tyson Fury to get that win. We really would. Now, BT Sport, Frank Warren, they're saying, well, Sky Sports put on the Ruiz Joshua rematch to £25, so an hour fight is bigger. Again, it's not bigger. I'm sorry, it isn't. Yes, Fury, Wilder, both undefeated. Officially, they're both undefeated. They both have a draw in their resume. But Tyson Fury won that first fight, and I think 99% of the boxing public realised that. So they look at Wilder as a paper champion. Both of these guys, in the boxing terms, where Fury, he took on Tom Schwartz, and then Otto Walling, went life and death with Otto Walling, didn't do too much for his profile. And again, people were unhappy about having to pay pay-per-view for it, for either of those two fights. Again, due to the time zones were massive. And Wilder, listen, he done what he's supposed to do to Dominic Brazil. It went exactly how it was I predicted. But that's not Wilder's fault. That was mandated toward him. But the rematch with Luis Ortiz, a fight that nobody was asking for, nobody wanted. Again, it's done nothing for his profile, okay? Again, he lost every single round, every single second of that fight until he hit Luis Ortiz on the button, and maybe potentially the referee stopped that fight a little bit too soon, because had he not, Luis Ortiz, well, the bell would have went and Ortiz would have had that minute's rest on the stool. Who knows what would have happened. But anyway, the point is that their profiles haven't increased that much. Now, Tyson Fury's has, from a commercial standpoint, with his endeavours in WWE, of course, his book, his single with Robbie Williams, and of course his ITV show, Home with the Furies, or whatever it's called. So Fury is the seller, but it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And to compare it with Joshua Ruiz, again, you see, Ruiz shocked the world. So the whole boxing world was talking about it. The whole boxing world are not talking about Wilder Fury Part 2. In addition to the fact that they've already announced that they're going to have another fight later in the year anyway. So this fight is a throwaway fight. Isn't it? It doesn't matter who wins or loses this one, or even if it's another draw. It makes no difference, because if you're going to be fighting again, that's the one that's important, because the one who walks away with the belt, that's what's intriguing. But with Joshua and Ruiz, it was a case of a lot of people were jumping ship from Anthony Joshua. A lot of people were. I wasn't one of them, of course not. And many of you guys weren't either. But a lot of people did jump ship. A lot of people were saying Joshua is exposed. And of course, a lot of people were hoping and praying that he's going to get the belts back and get back on top, and all that kind of thing. So there was a lot of talk, a lot of hype, in addition to the fact that it was an immediate rematch. So they took the rematch when the talking point was still hot. Wilder Fury, had they have taken the rematch straight away, it would have been far more feasible. But there's been a 15-month difference between the first fight and now. So it's simmered down a bit, it's cooled down a bit. Again, with Joshua Ruiz, that rematch was in Saudi Arabia. 9 o'clock at night, ring walk. That's very reasonable for a UK. 5 o'clock in the morning is not reasonable. Like I said before, Ruiz Joshua, when that was in New York, that shouldn't have been pay-per-view for us in the UK. I don't know why we're being asked to pay pay-per-view for something that's an unreasonable time. I understand it's all about money, but come on now, don't take the piss. Anyway, listen, BT Sport, they're going to charge whatever they want to charge. They want to say Fury Wilder is bigger than Joshua Ruiz. That's what they're supposed to say. The reality is, and it is a reality, there isn't a bigger, more commercial superstar in boxing than Anthony Joshua. And him losing actually made him a bigger star. Okay, so there's a whole world of difference. It really is. People could, they can talk about it as much as they want, but the reality is Joshua outsells everybody. Everybody. As much as I love Fury, he's not on the level of Anthony Joshua when it comes to a commercial value. He's not. So, but again, BT Sport, they had the final refusal of this fight due to the contract of it and everything. So whatever it was that Sky Sports put in, all BT Sport had to do was match it. And Sky Sports deliberately put in a very, very high bid, knowing that BT Sport are not going to lose that fight. So they've well and truly went over their budget for it. So this is one way of them clawing it back by asking for an extra $5. But in reality, all it's really going to do is encourage people to watch it in other ways or not watch it at all. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So you guys drop your thoughts below about BT Sport upping the price by an extra $5. Again, I mean, for me, you're either going to watch it or you're not. If you're really unhappy about it, don't pay for it. It's very simple, isn't it? Anyway, drop your thoughts below about it. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.